everyone, my name's Mary. Thank you for joining in. I hope that everything's well for you. Is it? Does it? This time I'm going to read some of the books that my favorite character ever from my favorite TV show is reading, and I'm talking about Daria Morgendorffer from TV show Daria. Now, is it super pretentious to have Daria as your favorite TV show? Yes. Is it even more pretentious to associate yourself with Daria? Absolutely yes. However, does it somehow deny the fact that I think that I'm similar to her? No, it does not. Because that's just true, okay? Daria reads a lot of books. Obviously, this is one of her character traits, that she's an avid reader. And the three books that I chose to read for this video are 1984 by George Orwell, Macbeth by Shakespeare, and also Metamorphosis by Frank Kafka. I'm aware that all three of these books are literally classics that everyone knows already, but I'm also a teen, so I didn't have that much time to read them yet, so give me a break, alright? I would love to find a book with the same feeling that TV show Daria gives me, and I know that none of the three that I chose for this video are gonna give me this feeling. I think these books are gonna give me just a better understanding of Daria as a character. I'm excited to read them, so let's go. Reading 1984 right now. I don't like it. I get it. I just fear that dystopia may not be my thing. I like a sad read, just not politics sad. I liked the bit when Winston met Syme, and Syme was talking about how they invent new words. So Syme is saying, why do we use words like excellent, splendid, when we can just say plus good? And then if you want to exaggerate it even more, we can just say double plus good. So that was fun. Other than that, I don't know. Not really an enjoyable read for me, unfortunately. I finally finished 1984. Took long enough. But yeah, I still haven't changed my mind. I didn't like it. I'm not saying it's bad, of course. It's very smart, and I'm glad I've read it, because I would have done it sooner or later, but it really wasn't for me. I also know that there are famous dystopia books, Animal Farm and 451 Fahrenheit, but I'm really not looking forward to reading this once, at least anytime soon. My favorite quote is this one. Why should one feel it to be intolerable unless one had some kind of ancestral memory that things had once been different? It was pretty hard getting through it for me. I thought maybe something's gonna change in the plot and I'm gonna like it. And yeah, something changed and I was like, maybe it's gonna go in this direction. But no, then it changed the direction again. No, it really wasn't for me. But Daria as a character likes history, so I see why it's on her reading list. I also know that it's a favorite book to a lot of people, and if you're one of them, why is this one your most favorite? Because you hate totalitarianism? Well, good for you, actually. Reading Metamorphosis, and that was a good one. It had this sad, melancholy feeling that I've been looking for in literature. I've been apprehensive to read it at first because, judging by the book covers for it, I figured it's gonna be something creepy, and I'm very sensitive when it comes to creepy stuff. But, as your literature teacher would say, The creepiness in the story is not the metamorphosis that happens to Gregor, but the metamorphosis that happens to his family. So the story is about a guy who wakes up one day and realizes that he's an insect. And that's not a spoiler because that's the first sentence in the book, which is also my favorite quote. One morning, when Gregor Zamza woke from troubled dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a horrible vermin. So yeah, it's kind of creepy. But the thing is, for example, with scary movies, you can escape watching a scary scene because they're gonna show it anyway. Whereas with a scary story, you can just choose to not imagine the stuff that you don't like to imagine. I actually really like bugs. So I imagine Gregor to be a beautiful insect with shiny holographic body, transparent wings, but in the story Gregor is obviously disgusting to everyone, which shows that making him an insect and not some other sort of animal was a useful tool to show how other people viewed him when he was no longer a source of income. So his family contains him, his sister, and 2 parents. He has a bad relationship with parents. They don't really seem to love him. They're thankful for the money that he gives, but they're not really showing them kind of attention you would show to your son. But his sister is kind to him and he's kind to her. Gregor really loves how his sister plays violin, and he even wants to pay for her university. Even though he realizes he'll need to work very hard for that, he wants to make her go to conservatory. And so after the metamorphosis that happens to him, his sister is the only one who takes care of him and actually shows attention. And as the story goes on, this pressure of hopelessness, depression builds up, and it gets worse and worse. In this case, the story reminded me of Fyodor Dostoevsky because he has the same feeling of hopelessness. And I thought that if you like Fyodor Dostoevsky, you would probably like this story as well, or Frank Kafka in general. And vice versa, if you like Frank Kafka, you would probably like Fyodor Dostoevsky as well. Poor People, for example, that would be my recommendation. Finished reading Macbeth. I like Shakespeare play, that's why I chose Shakespeare for both my Maeve Wiley video and this one. And I think out of the Shakespeare works that I've read so far, I like Macbeth the most. But also, quick question for Shakespeare. I hope you're listening right now. Is it that hard to not kill everyone in your plays? Or is it just how 16th century worked, like everyone just killed each other? And if not, what's up with killing everyone? But in Macbeth, the murderers actually played some part in the plot and shown like what people can do to have power. My favorite quote I unfortunately can't tell because that would be kind of a spoiler, and this time I don't want to spoil anything. Also, this play contained a little bit of mystery because it had witches, ghosts, and that's something unexpected. Again, I didn't know what Macbeth was about before I read it, so I certainly did not expect any witches and ghosts. So the witches in this play actually made a prophecy in the very beginning, and that kind of set the story. I would give this one of how many stars? Would I give it a 5-star? Well, not like I would want to read it again. As a Shakespeare play, yeah, probably I would give it 5 stars. Like for example, Othello, I would give 3 stars. Romeo and Juliet, 2 stars. I didn't like this one at all. But before I finish the video, I want to discuss actually a couple more bonus books that I found on Daria's reading list, such as some works of Jane Austen, Scarlet Letter, The Undeclared War Against Women, that show us that Daria is a fellow feminist, which I love to see. She also has War and Peace on this reading list, which this, I think, shows us again that she likes history, and not only of her own country, but of other countries as well. And also that she's not scared of big piles of information. And this reading list, by the way, I've found it on Goodreads. This is a list of books Daria Morgensdorfer either read or talked about on Daria. And this has 64 books. She also read Animal Farm by George Orwell. And I see Daria really liking dystopia. I guess she's the kind of girl who would like this type of books. I mean, like, the future is gonna be very bad if we're moving in this direction. She also likes a program that's called Six Hat World. So yeah, I can definitely see her liking dystopian books. Also, while we're on topic of Daria, can I complain a little bit about the ending? Spoiler alert, but she shouldn't have ended up with this random guy. Tom, I think his name was. She should have just pulled a Harry Potter and married her best friend's sibling. Done complaining. Out of the 3 books that I've read for this video, I would definitely recommend Metamorphosis. So yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Follow me on Goodreads if you want. You can also follow my Instagram account where I post my drawings. That was it. See you next time. Bye.